Hello guys, si Kersan Veloso ulit ito at welcome sa episode 68 ng laro tayo ng Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. So okay guys, andali lang. Okay, i-check ko lang guys, saka. Okay. Last episode, naganda na tayo sa mga huling preparation natin para pumasok do sa World City ulit para madala natin si Raymond do sa fortune machine niya. So para i-off na natin 'yan. So continue. Dire-diretso na tayo sa loob ng World City. Raymond Black. Alarms blare as you hustle Raymond from the Special Projects section of Prosperity Tower. But you encounter no resistance. Raymond unsteadily gropes his way through the corridors of the corporate headquarters, holding onto your elbow for support. Occasionally, the old man fingers the gauze dressing on his head with his free hand, wincing when he touches a tender patch. 10 minutes pass between the time you exit the building and enter the MTR station. The team remains on high alert, scanning the stream of scanning the streets and buildings for signs of Tsang security forces until, like a stream of cockroaches, you scuttle underground into the cool safety of the mass transit tunnels. You pay the fare, grab Raymond, and make your way to the subway platform. The sound of the old man's ragged breathing loudly rushing past your ear. Seconds. Tapos ko lang yung na yan. Seconds tick slowly while you wait for the subway train to arrive. Okay, so anyway, ito na. Papasok na ulit tayo dito sa sa World City sa to. Kasapin natin to yung bantay. Triad guard. 5 people, all reeking of Triad, huddled together next to your crew, muttering among themselves and pointing at the towering slum. One of them notices you and pats another on the chest with the back of his hand. It's the man who's been guarding the World City entrance since you arrived in Heyoy. He acknowledges you, a look of determination on his face. Mrs. Cheng sends her regards. She told us to keep an eye out for you. What for? Whatever she wants is gonna have to wait. We're heading into the World City. Is there something Auntie needs? Sige, tanong natin. Mrs. Cheng wants to know what the hell is going on inside the World City. She sent us to find out and report back to her. The Triad soldier's hands shake. He sees you notice them and pulls them behind his back. She said us that if we saw you heading in there, we should go with you. We'd have better chances of staying alive. She's right. Good, we need all the guns we can get. Why go in there at all? Because Auntie told you to? Ito na lang. The soldier nods in appreciation. Just tell us what you need. This is our shot at distinguishing ourselves. Show Auntie that we have what it takes to rise in the organization. Soldier looks sidelong at his friends. It may be our best chance to provide for our families. The group of triads nod to each other in forlorn unity as they take in the panic around them. The storm, the flood of people, the towering tenement, and something else, a wave of something emanating from within. Nararamdaman din nila. Do you feel that? Gabbett holds her stomach. Madness and folly squeak their disapproval. It's like the World City's bad breath or something. She groans. It's disgusting. I don't know, unclean? Just looking at this place. Like life has no value or something. Like there's just no point to anything. That's the toxic key. And it is exactly the point. We need to get rid of it. Fix it at the source. If I can. Raymond stares at the walled city, taking it in for the first time. The breath hitches in his chest, but the old man gets his teeth in grim determination. Grits his teeth in grim determination. The fortune engine is located at the heart of the walled city. That's where I need to go. I'll drop a marker in the center of the walled city on everyone's PDA tank. We should be able to weave our way through it to the machine. Got it, let's go. Raymond, what's the best route to take? Raymond's the key to this whole thing. I want him protected. Sige. Yun na lang. I'll put body I'll put some body armor under his clothing. It'll it'll stop a 45 at close range. We can also take advantage of the chaos. It may come over it may cover our approach in case someone is trying to stop us. Good idea. We should split up too. Keep Raymond back, out of harm's way. Look around, Gansho. This whole place is in harm's way. It'll be safer if we split up. Tank lead some of us to the clear way. To the clear to ano? Tank leads some of us to clear the way to the machine. Auntie's men can follow with the rest of us, escorting Raymond once the way is secure. It's thin, but it's a plan. We improvise from there. Wouldn't Raymond be safer in one larger group? Hindi. I don't like it. I don't want to be separated from Raymond. No, ito na lang. Both teams, use your com to stay in touch. We have no idea what we're gonna face in there. I will be right behind you, Asolem NR. Take care of yourself. See you on the inside, little man. It's not about me, Raymond. It's about all these people. You be careful too, Dad. I hope you know what you're doing, Ray. Walk away. Okay. See you in the inside, little man. Ito na lang. Raymond closes his eyes and lowers his head, solemn and resolved. So, make your way into the heart of the walled city. So, yun na. Pasok na lang tayo. So, tuloy-tuloy na to, guys. Wala nang timer. Tapusin na lang natin yan. Ano pa lang naman eh. 8 minutes pa lang eh. So, tuloy-tuloy na to. Tignan natin gaano katagal para matapos na. Okay, pipili ako ng teammates. Sama-sama all male team. So teka. Si Duncan, si Raptor, tsaka si Gaiju. Okay, weapon setup teka. Okay. You're about to enter the world city. Continue. Oh naman, para matapos na. Tapusin na natin to kahit gaano katagal. Para tapos na rin yung franchise. Tapos na rin yung trilogy. City of Death. The typhoon pours down as the Triad soldiers fan out in front of you, leading the way into Kowloon Walled City. Raymond shuffles along, alert and intent. Although exhausted by all that has gone on, he drives himself forward and will not accept help from anyone. Wu watches the windows and rooftops, his rifle never leaving his shoulder. He occasionally risks a glance at his foster father, concern, frustration, and anger playing over his face like a sideshow. The walled city is worse than in your first visit. Even with the rain, you can feel something in the air. It's thicker now and it clings to your skin like invisible filth. The miserable noises of slum life are gone, replaced by something worse. The sounds of death, the sounds of fear. As you round the corner, the group stops before heading in deeper. Okay, final preparation na natin to. So, teka. Meron tayong dalawang revival items. Ikaw. Sige, kailangan mo ng isa. Tapos bigyan kita ng level 3 recovery item. Sino to? Si Raptor. Ano yung weapon niya? Um, anong klaseng weapon to? Pistol pala. So hindi walang makagamit itong shotgun. So anyway, teka. Kailangan mo ng revival. Tsaka ito. At least merong revival si ano. Kaya lang level 1 lang. Anyway, bigyan natin yung mga grenade sa kanya. Yan. Ay, teka. Si ano pala to? Hindi ka mag-grenade. Si ano to? Teka. Ikaw ang dapat may grenade. Teka. Okay. Kaya lang, isa lang. Hindi pwede tanggalin to. Locked item eh. Sige. Hindi ka pwede mag-grenade. Okay. For now, ganyan na lang. Wala eh. Ilang mga gamit natin eh. Si ano pala to? Si Gaichu. Okay, go. The inner world city, what you've seen in your dreams, feels tame by comparison. The atmosphere is humid, with the oppressive weight of despair. You can feel it bearing down on your shoulders, whispering for you to give up, lie down, await your miserable fate. Your skin feels and your skin feels oily and unclean. Okay, yeah. We're finally here. Finally past the trash heap that encrusts this place. He reaches out and touches a Durablast wall. The paint has long since chipped away, but what remains is enough to tell you that you're looking at the original exterior of Kowloon World City. It looks much sturdier than the ramshackle construction that has grown up around it. This is what Mother and I built, what was supposed to help people. All that we wanted was to help. Very poetic. Now let's move. I'm done with the talking. I don't want to spend a second longer in this place than I have to. The Yellow Lotus 49er scans the horizon. This, his head on a swivel, he's full of the frenetic energy that can only come from pure terror and combat stims. Raymond doesn't move. He stands there, staring at a painted section of wall to his left. Raising his gaze, you can see what he's looking at. It's faint, but it's there. A faded stamp of the Tsang Mechanical Services logo. There. Even this is a nightmare now. Decrepit and rotten and falling apart. He squeezes his eyes shut. It was supposed to be a good place, a safe place. Yeah, well it isn't, and we all know whose fault that is, don't we? Her eyes flash daggers at your adoptive father. She wears her hate like a mask. He looks down on her, expressionless. Yes, and that is why I have to fix it. Azalev Enhar, you need to clear me a path to the sarcophagus that surrounds the fortune engine. It will be at the center of all of this. Please, please, help me fix this. I can't do it by myself. That's the plan. I don't see what choice we have. Ray, we wouldn't have brought you all the way in here if we didn't want you to fix it. I'm not here to give you closure, old man. I have my own reasons for walking into hell. Wait, that's the plan. Ito na lang. He reaches a hand towards you, pulls it back with a pained expression. Thank you. Clear a path, Seattle. I'll go with kindly speed team and look after Ray. We'll take him down side streets and stick to the shadows until it's safe for us to regroup. Just do what Rat tells you to do. You'll be fine. Raymond is more important than any of us. You keep him safe, no matter what. Godspeed, Gabet. Ito na lang. She nods at you. I'd wish you luck, but that seems like an empty gesture considering the whole bad luck machine thing. But hey, break a leg. O nga, paano sasabihin good luck? Yung lugar punong-puno na ng bad energy. Get him there safe. We need him. He glances back at you. Come on, Tank, let's go. Okay, so start na natin to. So teka, ba tayo ng save file? Okay, bagong save file. Final save file na to for this game. Yellow Lotus Soldier. Stop right there. A group of Yellow Lotus 49ers is holding this entrance. Their leader, a dumpy female elf with chipped teeth and a buffman hairdo, stumbles towards you. Pareho tayong dwarf Ano ba yan? Yellow Lotus Soldier. You drop your guns and get down on the floor. She shakes her head from side to side, as if trying to clear it. A pair of bloodshot eyes roll in their sockets, without reason or purpose. Drop everything, or we'll cut you like pigs. Stand down. We're here with Kindly Chang. You're from the Lotus Den. Aren't you Strangler Bow? Huh? Aren't you Strangler Bow is... You're from the Lotus Den, aren't you? Strangler Bow is on my side. I'm in too much of a rush to argue with you. Drop your weapons or die. Ito na lang. Bow? She gestures wildly with her rifle. A thin stream of blood traces its way from her left nostril down to the mouth. His time is done. Our new queen has shown us the way. Ouch. Kumampi siya doon sa Yamakin, ganun ba yan? Screaming unintelligibly, she launches herself at you. Her cohort follows behind, swinging their weapons wildly and howling for blood. Mga prasaway. Okay, so ganyan ang gusto nyo Teka. Ay, wala si anyway, sige. Si Raptor na lang muna, teka. Ito ba yan? Okay, meron ka pang 2 moves. Teka. 2 moves. Hindi mo makita no? Dito. Medyo mababa. Napakawala mo na si Koshi. Okay, go. natin tear. Ilang moves ka pa? Oh, may 3 moves ka pa. Sige guys, go. Okay, tanggal na. May 2 moves ka pa. Teka. Sayang, nagmintis. May kaiju, teka. Okay. Banata mo kaagad nito. Asan na yan? Split mo na. Di mo ma-target. Okay, at least delikado ka na. Isang shot na lang si Kaiju. Hindi na tayo gagamit ng sword skills. Ito na lang. Sana nagmintis pa. Never mind. Bugbugin natin yung pasaway na yun. Teka. Sayang nagmintis. Mintis na naman. Sayang. Pwede mo kayong gamitin yung ano? Hindi kaya. Seven masyado mababa. Hindi mo makita dyan eh, no? Halos deaths na. Hindi na problema yan. Ito na lang muna isa. Okay, dalawa na lang sila, nice. Guys, tulog, kumakatulog ka. Sayang, nagmintis pa. Pasaway ka. Pareho lang ng damage value eh. Mintis pa yung ulit. Sayang. Mintis pa pasaway. Ay, never mind. na lang. Way pa pasaway. Yun, nice. Walang problema. Pasaway na, possess na sila ng demon. So, continue. Ano yun? Accessing Turret System Center. Main menu. Decking. Character. The character. Any thoughts on the setup? It is rudimentary, poorly secured. His voice takes on a scolding tone. Shoddy handiwork, all around. To be fair, this shouldn't come as a surprise, given how quickly Tsang's people must have thrown this up. Now, if we were really smart, if they were really smart, they would have What I meant was, can you do something to make it so that all this turret doesn't shoot us in the face? Yes, of course. Rewiring it to unleash hell on the Tsang security forces would be a trivial matter. Wouldn't take me 5 minutes. He raises an eyebrow with a smile. Would you like me to do that? Okay, do it. And lahat ng advantage na magagamit natin. A few moments later, Ractor has the turret rewired. If any Tsang security personnel show their faces, it will fire on them instead of you. Okay, nice. You push your way forward, through the piles of filth and through the narrow gaps between buildings. Ducking under exposed sewage pipes and battered ductwork. Suddenly, you're through it, and out of the other side, a slender woman stands a few meters in front of you. An extravagant coat hangs over her delicate frame, the hood pulled low over her face. She's facing you, but you can't make out her features. Wag mo sabihin si yung niligtas nating vampire. Behind her, another woman approaches at a trot. She's wearing ballistic armor, and she has her weapons drawn. The insignia that's been emblazoned onto her shoulder pad is familiar to you. Tsang Recon Commando. Hey, you there! She shouts at the hooded figure, her voice full of self-important pomp. You heard us. Clear the area, and do it now. The inner blocks are off-limits to non-Tsang personnel. The hooded figure turns to face the approaching guard. Dali lang guys, check ko lang yung time natin. 30 minutes. Apologies, I got a bit lost. I'm not really familiar with this area. Her tone is silky smooth and perfectly, even almost hypnotic. It's that okay, but she blinks, shakes her head to clear it. Her jaw clenches and you watch her eyes refocus. She shoulders her weapon. Don't you try that on me. You make one more sound and I'm gonna... With a motion that's too quick to follow, the hooded figure lashes out, grabbing the Tsang guard around the waist. She bats the startled woman's weapon away with her one other hand, lunges forward and sinks her teeth into her neck. A spray of arterial blood fills the air, and the guard's body goes limp. O siya nga, ano ba yun? Kung Fu ba yun? The hooded figure lets the Tsang security officer's body crumple to the floor. She sweeps back her hood and dabs at her lips with her handkerchief. Ayun si Ku Feng yan. Pleasure to see you again. The pleasure is all mine. You're right on time, by the way. He turns the square of embroidered fabric in her hand and continues to blot the blood off of her lips. Apologies for the mess. It's like eating soup, dumplings. The liquid winds up getting everywhere, no matter how careful you try to be. I did not expect to hear your voice again, Queen of Repulse Bay, not since we concluded our lessons. What are you doing here? Why, I'm here to help you, of course, and to bask in the misery of the walled city. He shrugs, half smiling. It's quite intoxicating, you know, the poisonous energy of this place, and of the being at the center of it all. I'm surprised that you can't feel it yourself. Say nothing. I can feel it, believe me. It's repulsive. Good to see you as well, Kufeng. You seem to be doing well. O, ito na lang. Makipagtsikaan tayo sa kanya. She glances down at the body, using the nudge with the foot of her boot. I get by. In any event, let's get down to business. I have a question for you. The thing that has arrived here, this Yama King, to use the local parlance. What are your intentions for it? I'm going to send it back to the hell that it crawled out of. That depends on it. I'm willing to talk to the thing, if that's what you're asking. What do you want me to do? Ito na lang. Ito naman talaga yung plano natin eh. Very good. In that case, I will help you. Energies that your Yama King secretes are quite delicious. I can only imagine they will become more so at the moment of her death. That's how it works, with blood. Why would this be any different? I'd be honored to have you fight by my side. Actually, I think that you'd be of better use covering this area for me. I can't afford to have Sang guards at flanking me. Ito na lang, sama ka sa amin. Mayroon tayong bagong kakampi. She claps her hands together, smiling. Very good. This is going to be fun. Nice. So sumama siya sa atin. So teka. Ayun, nice. And expect ko na yan eh. Kasi kasama natin si Gaichu tsaka yun. Sumama siya. So yun. So yan. Expect ko na yan. Achievement yan eh. Okay, asan tayo? Ano status niya? Check natin siya. Ano siya? Close combat. Anong gear mo? yung style niya para siyang si Glory sa sa Dragonfall. Yan yung claw attack. Okay, sige. So papasok ko tayo dito. Enter the mid ring of the walled city. Access the center of the Walled City. Move to the mid ring. Check nga yung mga reach the objective building. Access the center. Ay lang pala. Tama lang. Dire-diretso lang. Your comic buzzes. It's Raymond. Still alive. Asalev Enhart, what is your status? Your mother set up a cordon around the inner walled city. We just got through. We're almost at the center of the walled city. Had some opposition from Chang security. Ito na lang. Cordon? Oh my, how did you get through? You don't want to know. We had to take them down. The opposition stood down and let us through. Wag. Kalokohan yan. He lets us outside. Too much loss of life. Because of me. It was unfortunate but unavoidable. They had it coming. I made a mistake and they attacked in retaliation. I'm sorry. Ano lang. Please, Asalev Enhart, try to avoid more casualties. Hindi naman natin ginusto eh. You need to be careful. The nearer you draw to the fortune engine, the worse the astral disruptions will become. And make sure that when you reach the call cuts out. Okay, 35 minutes na tayo, guys. No, no, no. Wu looks around with a grimace. Did that sound important? Did that sound important to you? Because that sounded absolutely fucking necessary to me. We can't do anything about losing touch. Can we re-establish contact? Now I'm sure it'll be fine. Ito na lang. Duncan runs a hand through his hair in frustration, but relents. At this point, the only thing we can do is move forward. So let's get to it, Tank. The Wolf City smithering stands tall before you. It looks even worse than what you just tread through. A jumbled nightmare of crumbling buildings and exposed wires. A terrible sense of deja vu washes over you. You put one foot in front of the other and press further inside. Okay. Save muna natin. Oh, nag-auto-save siya pero gagawa tayo ng manual save para sigurado. Okay. Saan tayo papunta? Makita yung daan eh. Saan ba? Dito? Dadaan tayo dito? The crowd is in a frenzy. They're shouting, screaming at the Sang security officers who block their progress. A dead body lies in a rapidly expanding pool of blood at their feet. The gloves are off. Already killed a man. This is gonna get ugly in a second. Kufeng shoots you a backwards glance. Sang security arrived here in force about an hour ago. They've been cordoning off streets and pushing people out ever since. It looks like they're trying to take control of the inner world city. But the desperate poor have them outnumbered, 1,000 to 1. The inevitable massacre should begin any second now. The crowd surges forward, and a burst of gunfire pushes them back. Back! Away! Back the fuck away! The muzzle of his weapon dips and weaves as he barks out orders. Those in the front of the crowd try to backpedal, only to run up against those surging forward from the back. I'm warning you, clear the area, now! Please, this is our home. Our families are still inside. This is for your own good. We are here to protect you. He gesticulates wildly. Spittle flying from his mouth. Mouth? Asang anong mouth? You can't be here. Back away. This is your last warning. Quickness. Attack the Sang troops. Try to intervene. Ano yan eh? Kulay green eh. So go. As you raise your weapon, you see them ready their own. So, asan kayo mga pasaway kayo? One, two, three. Tatlo lang? No problem. Baka hindi abot. Isa na lang muna. Kung pwede mo sana gamitin yung skill mo eh. Hindi pa kaya, ano ba yan? Worthless na yung skill mo kung ganun. Never mind. Wala ka ma-target? Wala kang makita talaga eh. No? Kailangan mo lumapit pa, pasaway. O, dito ka. 76, 67, 95. O, yung 95, sige. Para tanggal na kagad. Buhay pa rin. Okay, bigyan mo ng additional move si si Koshei. Tapos may attack ka pa. Kasi nagmintis pa pasaway. Si Gaichu naman. Okay, Frenzy. Tatamaan si wag na lang. Wag nang speed. Manual na lang. Nice. Halos pareho kayo. So teka. Sa'yo na to. Nagmintis ka pa sa lagay na yun. Okay. Ano ba yan? Ala, bakit pa naimintis? Sige, patulugin mo na lang. Nice. Buhay pa rin. Okay, may isang shot ka pa. Ay, hindi mo na pala kailangan deaths na eh. Ay, hindi ko na-trigger si Koshei pasaway. Nice deaths. Takbo na kayo, maaga. Detonator. Para saan yan? A mechanical key with accompanying detonator for standard military grade explosive charges. So, hindi naman natin siguro kakailanganin yan, no? Anyway, nag-survive naman tayo na walang kaproblema eh. Okay. Yun. You hear the muffled sound of shouting coming from the west. Multiple voices, all calling out for something. You can't make out what they're saying, but they sound like they're in a panic. I don't know what that was, and I don't think I wanna, but it went where we're headed, and that's a bad sign. We've got to push forward. It's not like we have a choice. Tell you what, the next time we see something like that, we shoot it and hope for the best. Buckle up. I've got the feeling that we're headed for a bumpy ride. Ito na lang. Pag forward na naman yung ano eh. Check natin dito. Enter the center of the world city. Oh, yun eh. Doon na lang, direkta na yun eh. Although may may isang passage pa dito kanina. Check na natin yun. Teka. Ayun oh. Hindi na. Wag na lang. Wag na lang. Diretso na tayo dito. Eto na eh. Ando na eh. Ikot pa ba naman tayo? Ito na eh. Access center of the Shadowrun World City. Okay, yun na. Konti na lang. Yun na natin to. Konti na lang. Tapusin na natin. Andali lang guys. Okay. You've been walking for what feels like hours, picking your way through the claustrophobic alleys of the inner world city. It feels like you're traversing a war zone. Dead bodies litter the gutters. Some have been gutted by gunfire. Others have suffered stranger and more terrible wounds. The rattle of distant automatic weapons fire rings in your ears, intermingling with faint screams of agony and terror. Gets better and better, doesn't it? I'm not a fan either, but it's too late to turn back. We've got a job to do. We keep moving forward. We have a chance to fix this, or at least to keep it from getting worse. Raymond's gonna be waiting for us at the end of this. We have to meet him. Look on the bright side. After we get through all of this, we get to fight a Yama King. Parang gusto ko yun. Ayan. We'll press on, of course. We'll press on, of course. It is what we are here for. Ahead, you can see a cluster of Sang security personnel. They look to be embroiled in some sort of argument. If they notice you at all, they don't show it. Okay, watch and wait. As you watch, one of the officers loses his cool, starts shouting, "She's here for us. I've seen her in my dreams." What is here? I don't know what you're talking about, damn it. The security officer lurches toward his partner. His eyes bulging, his body language makes you think of a wounded animal, panicked, terrified, ready to lash out at anything within reach. He shakes his head like a wet dog and focuses on the woman beside him. I know how to keep us safe. I saw how to do it. He reaches for an object that's clipped to his belt. Open your mouth. Ouch, yung ipin. You're crazy, man. Keep away from me. I mean it. She backpedals, reaching for her weapon, and shouts at a third guard. Get back up. He has gone insane. Without a word, the third Sang guard takes off running. As if on cue, the deranged security officer takes another step forward. This is for the best, Yang. Trust me. I'll do you first, and then I'll do me. Light shines on black iron. He holds a multi-tool, clenched it in his hands. You can see that he's configured it into a set of pliers. By the time I'm done, she won't be able to hurt us anymore. With a flurry of motion, the man with the pliers lunges at his companion. She drops into a fighting stance and meets him head on. pa. Napraning na kayo no? Hindi nyo na alam kung anong gagawin no? Mga napasaway Teka, unahin na natin si Raptor. Hindi ko nagawa ng maayos ng last combat Okay. Nakikita ka ba? Wala take cover ka na lang, teka. O, dyan ka. Wala din, hindi rin makita dito na lang muna. Tapos pagka may lumapit at least pwede mo atakihin so sige, go. May dalawang move ka pa. Ufeng. Wala ka namang matatarget Ayun, eto na. Meron, 70. Sword attack na lang. So yan. Meron pa. Pero nasaan? Natin makita ko nasaan yung huling enemy. Ayun, nasa ano. Ano eh. Ito ka lang muna. Hindi maabot eh. More tank security up ahead, but these ones are different. They're outfitted in heavier armor, carrying heavier artillery. They look just as adult as everyone else you've seen this deep in the slum. Deep in the slum though. They hold their weapons leveled at the doorway heading to the inner world city. Ito na yung target natin. Duncan's voice comes out in a harsh whisper. Great, more of these assholes. What are they? You hear a deafening crash from the direction of the world city. The noise is followed by an alien piping sound, unlike anything you've ever heard. At the sound of it, the tank troops start screaming. Their faces have gone as grey as ash. Ito na siguro siya, yung Yama King. You catch a glimpse of something moving towards you. Something fast that seems to defy gravity as it runs. You have a split second to process this new information before the gunfire starts. Ayun nga, yung kanina. Dalawa? Tatlo? Hindi considered na cover to eh, pero wala, ganun lang eh. Kaya at least abot mo. Weapon change. Buhay pa rin. Hindi mabot. Hindi kaya. Tsaka na lang muna. For now. Anong klase kalaban yan? So at least na lang mga ito natitira sa taka. Ito muna. Sayang nagmintis pa pasaway. Tama ba? Gamitin mo na lahat. Isang move ka pa. Ito mo na 65. bababa ng hit chances mo. Ano ba yan? 48 o 52. Ano ba yan? Nagmintis pa, 52 na nga. Okay. Split na lang muna. Wala, hindi pwede. Hindi abot. Sige, frenzy na lang. Okay. Hindi, ito na lang. 53 52. Ito naman ang 53. 65. Nagmintis pa yung sa lagay na yun. Pag tumama to, okay. Mintis ka pa pasaway. Mystic armor. Okay. Dali, ha? Saan nagmintis pa, oh. Sige, ito naman, ha. Wala nang grenades. Unahin mo na yung 65. Buhay pa rin sa lagay na yun. Okay. Bigyan mo ulit si Koshe. Bang pwede i-target dyan? Ito 38. No choice. Sabi na, mintis din eh. Hindi pa pwede frenzy. To. Kailangan forward ka and Koshi. Isa ka sa mga melee attackers natin eh. Okay. Isang shot ka pa. Nagmintis pa pasaway. Okay. Bansa na lang. Meron pa doon pasaway. Okay lang, sige. Madali. Hintay lang kayo. Nagmintis pa pasaway oh. Kailangan mo mag-reposition, boo. Hindi ka maka-target eh, sa layo mo eh. Dito ka. Sagad na natin para matanggal mo na yan. Kailangan mo na mag-reposition. Okay, so kami na bahala rito. So, teka. Hindi, dapat sword na lang. Koshi, may 5, meron kang 3 lang. Never mind, sige. Nagmintis ka pa, pasaway ka. Nagmintis pa, pasaway. At least tumama this time. Hindi mo makita, pasaway ka. Woo. Ano ba yan? Woo. Nagmintis pa? Ano ba? Hindi na pwede. So, tapusin na natin ito ngayon guys. Ano mangyari? Konti na lang eh. Nice. Ito muna. Nice. So, ito na. Konti na lang. Ito na. Papasok ko tayo sa last area. Tapusin na natin ito ngayon kahit gaano katagal. Ito na eh. End na eh. End point na eh. Save nga natin, although konti na lang to patapos na eh. Check ko lang yung achievements ulit. Wala, yun lang isang yun. Parang yung ano to parang yung ano ba yan? Yung ano, yung sinking ship. Medyo ano rin yung loob. Hindi rin kagandahan. As you pass into the hallway, Kufeng brushes up alongside you. I'm afraid that we're going to have to part ways here, Tang. She shudders. The negative energy of this place has grown a little too strong for my liking. Oh, come on. What happened to drinking the ichor of a Yama King? You can't quit on me now, Kufeng. You promised to help me with this. Are you really content to share power with Oyama King? I thought that you wanted to be queen. Sige to. I did, and I am, of Repulse Bay. In case you hadn't noticed, this place isn't Repulse Bay. It's a fetid hellhole with all the charm of a garbage dump. Sige, okay lang, sige. Uwi ka na, okay lang. At least nakatulong ka sa amin dito kahit konti. In any case, this has been a most educational experience. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. She curtsies demurely. Goodbye, Shadowrunner, and good luck. Thank you, Kufeng. No choice eh. Okay lang. Save ulit natin. Okay, 1 hour 13. Ano to? Wag na lang nating pakialaman yan. Itong isa na lang. Kasi nabasa ko na yung guide eh. Pag tinulungan natin to mawawala, ang mangyayari lang mawawalan lang tayo ng items. So wag na lang. So kasabi ko na lang itong tao. In the clearing ahead, you find a sobbing middle-aged man amidst a pile of bodies. He's dressed in a cheap suit with a bright yellow tie, but the fabric has been smeared with blood. He takes notice of you and recoils. Leave me alone! Go away! As he tries to pull away, his mouth drops open. You can see that he's missing at least half of his teeth. Ouch, ano ba yun? Can't let them find me. Can't let them catch me. Have to hide from them. From her. Slowly, methodically, he begins to claw at his own eyes. Ano ba yan? Oh, kung di mo sila makikita, di ka nila makikita. Ganun ba yun? Can't get free. Can't get clean. When my eyes close, I see them there. Twitching, shaking, like broken things. He reaches for you with blood-stained fingers. Please, please, help me. Ano gagawin natin dito? Paano yan? He's lost it. In shock, probably. I think that I've seen the things that you're talking about. Crescent-shaped heads, twitching movements. Who are you? What happened to your mouth? What with all the bodies? The best way that we can help you is to stop all of this. Ito na lang na. He nods, staring at you through red-streaked eyes, drooling fire and pissing blood. Bodies like the gums of some huge animal, teeth thrusting out of pink flesh, like the thorns on a rose, shaking, trembling, and their horrible smiles. His entire body begins to tremble. He doubles over, clutching his head and sobbing. The tears spatter down on the mangled corpses at his feet. We'd better get moving, Aslam Anhar. We need to stop this before those things drive us as crazy as he is. Wag na. Who are you? What happened to your mouth? The best way we can help you is to stop all of this. He sobs uncomprehendingly. Okay. Forward na lang. Ito na. The sound of the typhoon hammering down outside is nearly drowned out by the noise of evacuees fleeing their ordeal. The air smells of fear and bodily fluids. Thrums thrums with a bass note of expectation and doom. You pause for a moment in the eye of the hurricane. Ahead, the cancerous core of the walled city and its concrete encased fortune engine awaits. No word yet from Mr. Tsang. Think he has think he ran again? Raymond won't run again, Duncan. I don't think so. I have faith in Raymond. Um, ito na lang. Good. I would rather not have a showdown with a demon goddess. Shutting down the machine sounds much easier. Let's continue clearing a path. Make it easy for him to follow. Okay, so ulit tayo ng save state, save file. Andun tayo, konting-konti na lang. Andun na tayo sa dulo, konti na lang. Tapusin na natin to kahit umabot na ng 2 hours, basta tapusin na natin. You're about to leave this location and move on to the heart of the world city. Continue? O, syempre. Para tapos na yung game. The Fortune Engine. The deafening rattle of machine gun fire fills the air behind you, and the metallic tang of blood cuts through the stench of garbage. You press forward, wading through block after block of insanity, chaos, and death. All around you, the walled city is descending into a churning cauldron of depravity and violence. The comms of no use. You've tried several times, but there's still no word from the B team. No sign of Raymond or of Kindly Cheng's triad soldiers. Finally, you reach the center of this hellhole, an industrial hatch with its door ajar. This is the place where Raymond Black built his infernal machine, the threshold across which Kianya, the queen with 1,000 teeth, clawed her way into this world. Yung pala pangalan nun, Kianya. Okay. I mean, nakakuha pa tayo ng 8 karma. Okay, ah. Locate the fortune engine. The walls here are thick, still reinforced. Braids of thick cable run across the floor, and computer equipment now hopelessly out of date. Add-ons ano, adorns every elevated surface. Something in the distance is calling to you. It's faint, but you can feel it. The bone-shaking thrum of an enormous machine. This is it, prosperity, just like in our dreams. He scans the room, scowling. The fortune engine has to be somewhere in this complex. We find the machine and secure it until Raymond arrives. Simple enough. I don't want to be here. Prison was better than this, but we've got a job to do. Keep moving. The sooner we find this thing, the sooner we can get home. Ano lang. The machine lies ahead, yes, but so close our quarry. I can smell it. The stench of something from another place. He loses his he loosens his blade in its saya. The red lacquered scabbard shimmers eerily in the light. Let us advance and meet the Yama King head on. I will paint the walls with her blood. Nice. Buti pa to si Gaichu tapang talaga eh. Okay, may nakuha tayong karma points. Saan natin gagamitin? Teka. Um, pwede ko habulin tong ano, biotech. So, may matitirang isa. Sige, dito na lang muna. So, may natirang isa. Teka, ay kung strength, tas attack. Seven. Wala rin, ganun din eh. Ano yan, ako na yan. So at least yung ano natin, yung biotech natin level 4. Okay. Save, tapos tuloy natin. Ah, hindi. Okay. Locate the fortune engine. Asan ang daan? Sarado naman dun. Ito? Hindi. Locked eh. Paano natin bubuksan? Ah, may pintuan dito. Okay. Hindi ko agad napansin yan. Okay, never mind. Medyo tahimik ka. Bakit kaya? Parang hindi ako kampante, tahimik eh. Okay, ito na yata. Inspect. The door has been sealed. Looks like it's been shut for quite a while. Got to be some way to get this door open. Hanap natin. Ayun. Ano to? Terminal. The terminal winks to life at your approach. It's still drawing power, promising. His gaze traces across the screen. This terminal isn't password locked. The display looks corrupted, but I suppose that it might still be usable. As long as we can open the door with it, we're good. We don't need it for anything else. Like use the terminal. Let's find out. Prosperity Project Admin Terminal. Yung mechanic mechanical services. Special Projects Division. Prosperity Admin System. Open testbed source. Ito na lang. Attempt to open the door to the fortune engine. Engine's testbed. Here goes nothing. You select the door controls from the computer's menu and command them to open. The screen flickers, then goes dark. Unfortunate. Perhaps the issue is mechanical. I could take a look. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a wave of nausea grabs you by the guts and twists. It doubles you over, then fades. Crap. Duncan turns to face you, wincing. What was... As you straighten, you can feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up straight. A buzzing sensation washes over you, drowning out your companion's words and filling your head with white, warm static. In the center of the room, something blossoms into the world. Crap, eto na siya. Ouch. Ano ba yan? Ang laki naman palang boss nito. Ano ba yan? The figure from your dreams looms over you, enormous and alien. The creature is beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. A thing of billowing silk and carved ivory. Kianya stands still as a statue, peering down at you from behind a mask of sculpted gold. Smaller spirits take up positions around her, bowing their heads in deference. Duncan stares up at the enormous being, and the color drains from his cheeks. Fuck me, it's really here. The thing from our dreams. Stay calm. We can handle this. Suddenly, I'm beginning to doubt our plan. That's a lot bigger than I expected. I've been looking forward to killing this thing all day. Ato na lang muna. Stay calm. Slowly with a broad, languid motion, Qian Yi's body begins to shift. The crescent-shaped ivory horns that crown her head cut through the light as she moves, casting strange shadows on the wall behind her. Crap. You are here. The voice that pours from behind the thing's mask is indescribably beautiful. The tones are high and musical, and seem to hang in the air for long after finishes speaking. You have come to us. In the corners of the room, servitor creatures echo their queen's words, the garbled sounds popping through gaps in their enamel-lined carapaces. Come to us. We called to you across the breadth of space and time, and now you are here, standing before us, just as you were meant to be. Why did you call to me? What do you want? You don't get to dictate what I'm meant to do. My choices are my own. You're not a god or a queen, Kianya. You're nothing but a glorified parasite. Wag naman. Why did you call to me? What do you want? Ano lang. We call to all who will listen. Her voice is joyous, triumphant. All are welcome in our court. Parang di ko trip yung sabi nito ha. All are welcome. And all are welcome in our larder. The Yama King spreads its arms, its movements full of malevolent grace. You belong here, slave thing, with us, now and for all time. I'm not your slave. In fact, I'm here to make a deal with you. You're no queen. I don't even know what you are. I'm gonna blow you back to whatever hell you crawled out of. Ito na lang. I'm not your slave. In fact, I'm here to make a deal with you. The hell did you just say? The queen with 1,000 teeth lowers her head contemplatively. Her, her incandescent veil ripples like silk as she moves. Such a thing could be arranged, perhaps if you are worthy. How do I prove myself worthy? I am. Um, Tignan natin to. Do sigurado. Kanya's gown, yeah, Kanya's gown parts as she raises a forearm. Your mind rebels against the alien biology that you see underneath. The wet glistening crenellations of flesh, enamel, and keratin that makes up the Yamaking's body. We will judge your worths, slave thing. Determine whether you are better suited in our court, as in our stomach. We will test you. How do I prove myself worthy? Your part is simple. The musical tones of the Yama King's voice are high-pitched and giddy. You need only endure. It opens its arms to you, offering a view of its chisel-like teeth that protrude from its flesh. Saliva glints on bone-white enamel. All around you, the gibbering of the queen's servitors grows to a fever pitch. Ractor stares up at the creature, his jaws hanging open in awe. Magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Eh ano ka rin kasi, medyo may sayad ka rin kasi. The queen with 1,000 teeth lowers her head, and the unnaturally thick air turns rank and cold. Waves of nausea rack your stomach as a foul wind slides over you like mud. You will be tested, meat. If you are found wanting, wanting, we will rip your nerves out at the root and gorge ourselves on your flesh. Her musical voice builds to a lowering crescendo, then crashes into you like a sledgehammer. Prove yourself to us, meat. Prove yourself or serve us forever. Okay, defeat yan niya. So, kailangan natin siya i-dispatcha. Para magawa daw natin to, ang kailangan gawin dito, kailangan tanggalin natin yung mga, itong mga, kailangan i-off natin, patayin natin yung mga kandila. Bakit ayaw ma-off? Ay, mali pala ito, snap flames. Ilan ba yun? Isa lang yata. At dalawa, meron pa ito isa. Ilan ba yan? Isa... Ano pa ba? Makita iba, teka. At tapos meron pang ano doon, item, pero huwag na. Ito na lang. Meron pa ba? Nakita ko meron pa eh. Ah, meron pa. Dito, meron pa dito, teka. Isa dito. Dito ba meron? Wala. Dito kaya? Oh, meron nga. Ano ba yan? Nagkalat. Oh, well. Okay, Duncan, dito ka. Hindi ko alam kung kakayanin ni Koshi eh, pero sige, teka. Sa kanya na natin ibigay. Okay, meron pa ba? Ito yung isa. Sabi ko meron din dito eh. Baka wala. Bugbugin mo na lang yung nakaharang sa daan mo. Kasi may maabot eh. damputin mga to. Hindi natin pwede bigay. Bigyan natin kay Wu. Para naman mapupugbog mo yan. Okay, teka. Ikaw muna. Tanggalin mo na to isa para tanggal na yung ano niya. Meron pa ba? Okay, wala na talaga. So pwede natin siya pag-initan. Dead man na yung mga pantay niya. Wala namang kwenta yan eh. Siya lang ang target natin. Tingnan natin kung mapapatulog natin. Nice. Tumalab. Okay ah. Okay. Bugbugin na total tulog eh. Okay. Ah, hindi. Okay. Nice. Tapos sword attack na lang. Ang layo mo pero makakahabol ka rin. Dali lang. Konti na lang, tulog na yung tumpa na yung leader nyo. Konti na lang. Okay. Medyo bugbog si Kaichu pero bubugin natin ang tuluyan to. Ito lang naman target eh. Buhay ka pa ah. Ay, wala na. Teka. So, ubusin natin lahat ng mga tauhan niya. So, fine. Okay, fine. Okay lang. Ganun pala eh, fine, sige. Okay, guide you. So, yung dalawang yan, so, teka. Frenzy. Tapos sword. Gamitin na natin to. Total na naka-corner sila sa iyo eh. O, sa'yo na yan. Ilan ang moves mo? Okay, Nagmintis pa yung huli. Ay, yun pala siya. Kala ko statue lang yun. Oh, never mind. Okay lang. Okay, fine. Ganun pala eh. Nagkamali pala. Kala ko yun. Tinatarget ko yung tamang... okay lang. Dalawa kayo, sige. Okay, fine. Tutangkan sa inang pasawa na yan. Nakatulong ka ba dito, Tangkan? Okay, fine. Kala ko yun yung target natin. Okay, never mind. Okay pa. Dua ba yan? Nagmintis pa pasaway. Three hits ka. Sige, sino yan? Naman pala sobrang hirap eh. Tanggalan natin ang armor. Nice. Nagmintis pa yung huling shot. Okay lang. $51 na nagmintis pa rin. Okay, kahit yun. Una. Mamaya natin siya, pag inita natin mamaya yan. Teka. Balik ka sa amo mo. Dalawa na lang kayong pasaway. Teka. Ikaw muna. Tapos umabot. Hindi umabot. Kailangan lumapit ni Koshi sa'yo. Teka. Mamaya ka na. Yung mo ng ano mo. Yung mo ng asungot mo. Nagmintis pa, pasaway. Dito ka muna, bu. Kailangan tanggalin muna natin yan eh. Para malinis. Okay, tanggalin mo na yung pasaway na yan. Mintis pa yung ano ba? Hindi, normal attack lang. Nagmintis na naman. Sige, lapit para mamatay ka na. Nag-recover ka pa, pasaway ka. Teka lang. Naubos ko lang yung mga minions mo. Nagmimintis. Okay. Pakitanggal na nga ito. Nagmintis ka pa sa lagay na yon. Ano ba? O sige, siya na muna pag-initan mo. Nagmintis din. Position ka. 45. Mintis pa rin sa lagay na yun. Tanggal na. Okay, time to end this. Hindi mabot na, never mind. Sige. Okay lang. Halos deaths na. May isang shot ka pa. Lapit ka na lang. Okay. Hopefully tapos na to. Nagmintis pa pasaway. Patulugin nga kita. Hindi na tumalab, sayang. Ayun, natapos din. Nice. As you watch Kianya's blast-marked and broken body begins to reform. Her gown knits itself back together. Black blood wicking onto the floor. Slowly, terribly, she begins to laugh. Pasaway, grabe, 2 hours. You cannot kill us, meat. You have not even seen us. Her voice fills with mockery. This form is but a shadow, a droplet of divine essence, filtered through a keyhole. Gaichi's milky eyes sweep across the room. His lip curls into a frown. She speaks the truth, after a fashion. That crumpled thing is not Kianya any more than those servitor spirits are. They are all small fragments of a single whole. The corpse eater sees. He glimpses us as we really are. Were you to behold our full magnificence, your mind would wring itself into pulp. Hindi naman eh. Yung mga normal na tao ganun, pero kami hindi. Mas matapang kami kasi. The crumpled form of Kianya rights itself begins to rise. You will see, slave thing. We will show you a world not meant for mortal eyes. You will see. Saan yan? Pupunta tayo doon? Ouch! Di pa tapos? Masaway, isa pang laban? Kala ko yun na yun. Wait, teka. Okay, kung ganon, sige. Save natin dito, just in case. Pero tuloy pa rin. Hit Kian yata. Tapos locate the fortune engine. Eto na nga eh. Patapos na lang eh, konti na lang eh. Ayaw pa niyang tumamba eh. Black, pasaway. Okay. Tingnan nga natin kung tatalab. At ay, immune. Wala na, okay. Mano-mano na lang talaga, so okay. Bigyan mo ng additional movement si Koshi, asan na? Okay, Koshi. Ikaw na pag-asa ng bayan. Go! Nagmintis pa, pasaway. Mintis na naman, pasaway. Ano ba yan? Okay, fine. Panay, mintis-mintis na ngayon ah. Tulog pa si ano. Kaso tulog siya eh. So anyway, teka. Black. Tatamaan ka kampi, wag na lang. Tanggalin na natin itong mga pasaway na nakaharang na to. Saan nagmintis pa pasaway? Sayang mintis. Si Koshey na naman, pasaway. Teka, ito lang naman ang target talaga dapat eh. Ditong immune eh. Si guide, si ano, tractor. Hindi mo na pwede gamitin pa. Dalawang turn pa eh. Ano ba yan? Katabing na lang eh. Okay, guide you 2 moves. Okay, at least tanggal na yung isang pasaway. Duraan mo nga ulit itong pasaway na to. Mintis, sayang. Tagalin na natin to. Problema ay nasa malayong yun eh. Teka. At least tagalin natin to. Mintis ba? Pasaway. Okay. Problema na lang eh. Ang pinakamalaking problema na lang yung nasa malayo. I-cover ka muna. Ayun. Pwede mo na gamitin yung ano. Hindi pa. Isang turn pa. Kalma to the max. Nagmintis pa, pasaway. Okay, teka. Kailangan mo tanggal tong pasaway na to eh. Isa-isa na lang siya. Okay, kaya na yan, hopefully. Saan ba yung ability? Okay. Ano na lang to? Ubusan na lang ng lahi. Hindi na. O ngayon, pwede mo lang gawin kay ano? Okay, go. Sa issue na lang yan, nag-isa na lang siya eh. Okay lang. Gamitin natin lahat ng skill niya. Kunti na lang. Pasaway ka ha. Deads ka na ngayon. Deads! Pasaway! Grabe, 2 oras. As Diana King's body crumples, a crackling sound fills the air. Once again, her broken body begins to knit itself back together. The flow of black ichor from her many wounded slows to a stop. And from her many wounds slows to a stop and reverses. The viscous fluid snaking its way back up into the holes and ruptures that it poured from. Projections on top of projections, all aspects of our divine being, shed as easily as a lizard sheds its tail. Her voice is ripe with mockery. You cannot harm us, meat, but you have amused us. Kanya holds her crowned head, cocking to one side. Perhaps you are worthy of an audience after all. Perhaps. Her voice trails off and her head tilts upward. From behind you, you can hear the pounding sound of approaching footsteps. As she falls into position behind you, Gabbett's jaw drops open. Raymond Black steps forward, a look of grim determination on his face. Oh, that isn't good. She shrinks back as Kanya turns to face her. Her voice is full of awe and terror. That isn't good at all. I did this. I brought this creature here. He speaks in the grim tone of a man on his way to the gallows. His complexion has gone gray as ash. My fault. My responsibility. Wala pa rin ako achievement doon? Wala pa rin. Anyway, at least patapos na to. End na lang natin. The Queen with 1,000 Teeth cackles with glee. It has returned to us. the tunnel builder, the architect of my ascendancy. Ascendancy. The creature leans in forward. Uh, the creature leans in toward Raymond, its spidery fingers weaving hypnotically. The thing's robes billow like the bell of a jellyfish, pulsing organically with the rhythm of a heartbeat. You will have a special place in our court, Builder. You will stand by our side, exalted for all time, a living token of our unending rule, and an undying symbol of the folly of man. I have been a fool, yes. His hands clench into fists, so tight that his knuckles go wide. The skin on his face is flushed with the effort of fighting through the stammer jumbling his words. A great fool, but I will not be your slave. I will stop you. The queen with a thousand teeth leans forward, her movements full of alien grace. The gaping crescent of her mouth parts into a ghastly smile, and you can see row upon row of fangs. They run down her throat in overlapping layers, a bristling forest of glistening, sharpened enamel. Leave him alone. You were talking to me, remember? I'll kill you before I let you hurt him, monster. I earned an audience with you, Queen. This man did not. Attack. This time. Third time's the charm. Try to stay dead this time. Okay. Ito na. I earned an audience with you, Queen. This man did not. She's, she's, she steeples her fingers. Their hardened tips click against one another with a sound like grinding teeth. You are bold, Meat, but you are also correct. We do not break our promises, and you have earned some modicum of respect. Kianya turns her full attention back to you, and the smile widens. You can feel it deep in your gut. It tunnels into you like a lamprey, leaves you feeling empty and cold. In truth, you amuse us. Your persistence in the face of the inevitable is a pleasure to behold, and so we have decided to grant you a rare honor. We offer you a deal. Go on then, I'm listening. You're just trying to buy yourself time, aren't you? Keeping me talking so that I won't hurt you anymore. I don't want a deal with you, parasite. I want to destroy you. Sige, go on. Go on then, I'm listening. Our terms are simple. We want you to leave. Leave the chat leave the chattel here to their fates. Forget about them. Acknowledge that they are ours, and then think on them no more. She gestures towards the door that you came in from. Leave the walled city now, and do not return. Accept that it is our domain, now and forevermore. In exchange, we will grant you 14 years of good fortune, your every wish fulfilled, your every desire granted, a charmed life, from the moment you leave to the day that our deal elapses. You can do this? The Yama King cackles. With a wave of her hand, we have swum the waters of fortune since the beginning of time. It is a trivial matter for us to divert them. So will you accept our offer? Will you take the deal? No, not yet. I have questions for you first. No, but I have a counter proposal for you. The price is too high. I won't let you have this place. Yes, in exchange for 14 years of good luck, I leave the walled city to you. No. No, but I have a counter proposal for you. Ito na lang muna. Tingnan natin kung gagana. Duncan's brow furrows. He looks surprised and uneasy. His grip tightens on his rifle. Kianya leans in toward you, her face folding open into a hideous smile. A counter proposal, you say? How amusing. Out with it then, Meat. Tell us what you would have of us. You're going to return to the place that you came from, and you're going to close the door behind you. Attacker. I would I would have I would have you die, monster. Here. I would have you die, monster. Here. I'll get you started on that right now. Ito na lang. She cackles a long malicious laugh. And tell us, slave thing, why would we do such a thing? What do you have to offer? You do it. I'll feed you. I'll bring you fresh slaves, fresh meat, as often as you want. Well, I won't kill you, for one. That sounds like a fair enough offer to you. How about money? I can hook you up. Sige, subukan natin to. Sana gumana, although mababa ang charisma natin. This is your offer? This is what you bring to us? Tell us, Meat, why would we retreat from this world and live off of what scraps that you bring us, when we could remain here and claim whatever we desire for ourselves? Because this is the best offer you're gonna get. Take it or I'll burn you down. I guess that you wouldn't. I guess that you wouldn't. You know what? Forget the counter proposal. I'm ready to give you my. I'm ready to give you my decision on your offer. Ito na lang. Because it's the best offer you're gonna get. Take it or I'll burn you down. It threatens us. Her voice is mocking and sad. This meat does not learn. A pity, a shame. You could have had everything that your hearts had ever desired. She ducks her tongue. She clucks her tongue at you, a hollow, resonant sound. Instead, you will suffer as no living being has ever suffered before. Her robes shimmer again, and the claws come out. Once again, her voice grows to a deafening roar. We will suckle your sorrow until the sun turns to dusk. Okay, fine. Laban ulit. Isa pa. Ayaw mo pa talagang sumuko, ah. Sige. Save natin ulit. Pasaway ka, ma'am. Ayaw mo pa rin talagang ayaw mo talaga sumuko, ah. Grabe. At least isa ka lang. Okay, teka. Tapos normal attacks na lang. Ay, hindi. Ito muna. Ikaw. Duncan. I-unbalance mo siya. Sayang, nagmintis. Okay lang. Pasaway ka, ayaw mo talagang mag-spot siya, fine. Gamitin na natin lahat ng skills natin sa'yo. Sayang, nagmintis. Okay lang. Yung deaths na naman. Ayaw mo talaga sumuko, ah. As you watch, the Yama King's broken carcass withers and dissipates. Seconds later, all that's left of her is cloud of rancid mist. Huh? That was easier than I thought it would be. I guess that she was hurt worse than she let on, trying to trick us into taking a bad deal. That doesn't mean that she won't come back. All we've done is buy ourselves some time. That wasn't really her. It was just a projection. It won't be long before she finishes licking her wounds and sends another. Serve her right, Raymond. You ready to turn off that machine of yours? Ito lang. I have been ready for more than 2 decades. He points at a dingy terminal just in front of the towering machine. The control console is just over there. We must move quickly. Okay. Wala lang. Para lang hindi na natin gawin yung combat. Save na natin last time. Hopefully. Okay. The Fortune engine itself stands before you. An enormous, malevolent presence that fills the test chambers ahead. Raymond pushes forward, leaning in to study the control console with a look of determination on his face. I will close the rift. I just need... He bends over the terminal, frowning. His eyes dart from readout to readout. As you watch the blood drains from his cheeks. What's wrong? Destroy the thing before she comes back. I can't. He gestures at the technical readouts on the Fortune engine's monitors. There is a one-way flow of astral energy moving from the inner walled city through the tunnel. I know what it is. Gabet wrinkles her nose and gets a faraway look. She sways for a moment and speaks as if in a dream. I can feel it too. The energy is coming from the people that she's feeding on. Their essence, their spirits. For lack of a better word. She sways a while longer, a puzzled expression on her face. If I destroy the machine now, it will collapse the tunnel. All of those people will have the better part of their essence. All those people will have the better part of their essence. What makes them who and what they are, trapped inside, with her, forever. Thousands of people, condemned to an eternity with that parasitic thing. So, paano solution dito? Do we have another option? Son of a bitch. The needs of the many, Ray. Do it. A few thousand people is nothing compared to the entire world city. Hindi ako pabor dito sa Star Trek to eh. Hindi ako pabor dyan sa the needs of a few of the many. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Hindi ako pabor dyan. Okay. Do we have another option? Raymond squeezes his eyes shut, works it through. Yes, someone could enter the tunnel, close the rift safely. The people would be saved, restored to life in the real world. And what happens to the person in the tunnel? He stays there forever, with her, his shoulders sag. There's no way out once the tunnel is closed. There is a long pause as the assembled group digests Raymond's words. Duncan nods to himself, his jaw clenched. He pushes forward. I'll do it. Just tell me what buttons to press. Okay ka, Duncan, ha? Nung una, ayaw mo. Ngayon, ikaw na, playing the hero, ha? The old man stares at the controls. Cold fear washed across his face. No, if anyone is to do this, it must be me. His voice strengthens and you can see the old fierceness rising from within. The iron will of your childhood. It will be me. Hang on a minute, Raymond. Don't do this, Ray. Ito na lang. No, not Raymond. My name is Edward Sang, and I built this machine. I set this avalanche in motion. Whether I meant it or not, it is my responsibility to stop it. He turns to you, a look of resignation on his face. That is what this is all about. What it's been about since the very beginning. Raymond, listen to me. You're too weak for this. Just tell me what to do. No, the Yama King could return at any moment. There is no time to teach you what to be and to teach you what to do in there. I must set things in motion. It must be me. Okay, ah. He turns to you. Goodbye, Asada Benhar. You smile sadly. Thank you for coming to Hong Kong. Thank you for coming when I called. So long, little man. I owed you one for pulling me off the streets. We're even now. It was my duty. I did what had to be done. For what it's worth, I'm glad that I did. Goodbye, Dad. Ito na lang. The old man flips a lever and steps into the machine. There is a flash of light, and Raymond Black is gone. Crap.
Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets?
I
told you that the past is just a story. That if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. My past is a terrible story. I didn't expect it to end with redemption. Sometimes the debts of the past can't be repaid. But we do what we can. I have done what I can to right my wrongs. And I accept the consequences.
Kaso ang tanong, paano si Josephine Tsang? May prologue pa kaya to? Epilogue? Aftermath. You depart from the prosperity chamber and are instantly caught up in a wave of refugees fleeing for their lives, struggling through the panicked wave of humanity. You are able to retrace your steps and eventually reach Heoi. Although the typhoon has passed, the scene is wet and chaotic. The newly homeless crowd the streets, dazedly wandering, searching for missing loved ones and nursing injuries. Relief workers are already on the scene, providing blankets and medical aid. Rescue personnel carry the stunned and wounded to safety. The entire area has been cordoned off by the Hong Kong police force, while night errant officers and a military peacekeeping force attempt to maintain order. So yun ang ending. Meron pa? Report back to Kindly Cheng. You emerge from Kowloon Walled City to bustling clusters of activity. Refugees huddling together, staring back at their lost homes. Government troops deploying from armored personnel carriers. News vans setting up remote camera feeds, while reporters scramble to find the right angle for their broadcasts. The air is electric with the threat of potential violence as panicked peacekeepers eye the growing crowd of evacuating poor. Hindi pa naging direktang dialogue na lang. Gabet's eyes dart furtively as she turtles her head between her shoulders. This place is hot. The cops are swarming the place, and that APB is still out on us. Just take it easy. Try and blend in to the crowd. I want to have a look around. Let's head to the boat, sneaky like. Yeah, it's quite a party. Ano lang. Sounds good. It's gonna take a year's worth of showers to wash that experience off of me. Isabel lifts her nose towards a reporter interviewing someone from inside the walled city. Looks like we get to see a man on the street interview on our way. The press already have their hooks in someone, hoping for a soundbite. The reporter wears a look of earnest concern, like a coat of cheap deodorant. And is that when you started running? Yeah, it was bad in there. Shooting, screaming. I was terrified. And what caused this, sir? Why are people flooding out of the walled city injured and disoriented? The man stares at the scene around him, bewildered. It's like everyone is saying, some sort of chemical leak, a drug lab exploded or something, caused mass hallucinations. Pero alam natin na hindi naman hallucination yun eh. The reporter turns to the camera and pretends to check his notes. There you have it, Sonny. Our third report of mass hallucinations and violence caused by an explosion in an illegal drug lab. And while reports remain sketchy, it appears that the street crime is again on the rise. He half turns and sweeps his arm over the scene. As you can see, it's still turmoil and confusion here, as police and executive council peacekeepers respond to the emergency situation, attempting to maintain order. But in all this chaos, in the maze of poverty that is Kowloon Walled City, we may never know what really happened in there. Back to you in the studio, Sunny. Pasaway, okay ah. The light on the news camera goes off, and the reporter drops his facade. He ignores the bedraggled man beside him and begins packing his equipment. After a moment, he sees you looking at him and turns to you with a scowl. What are you looking at? You know that guy was regurgit- you know that guy was regurgitating a line of corporate bullshit, don't you? Mass hallucinations? Do you believe that story? There was no illegal drug spill. Na lang. No, I don't believe that story. He laughs sardonically and continues packing. Am I wearing a t-shirt that says, I'm a fool, feed me your line of corporate bullshit? No. But in my experience, the rest of the world is. Everything you see, everything you've been taught, every official you elect, all bought and paid for by the people pulling the strings. Yeah, well, no one's telling me what to think. No eye contact. He remains bent over his equipment case. Of course not, pal. You're different. The reporter finishes packing and stands up straight, brushing the wet grit off the street off of his hands. As he does so, his eyes narrow. His gaze moves over your crew, flicking from face to face before eventually landing on you. Looks like you just came from inside. So tell me, what did you really see in there? A mess that Josephine Tsang never cleaned up. A demon goddess named Kianya. She says hi, by the way. The results of corporate greed on the little people. A machine that creates luck, the bad kind. Ito na lang. You had to go into the walled city to see that. It's 2056. Greed is the little engine that makes the world go round. He shrugs. And I'm sure this has something to do with some corp experimenting on the people in the walled city. It's like their little petri dish. They love using them like lab rats in there. They test food additives, body modifications, pharmaceuticals, whatever some junior executive can dream up. Nothing surprises me anymore. Doesn't it bother you? What about the truth? We can change that. Ano lang. He looks at you like you're from Mars. Good luck. You look like just the guy to do it. Aren't you a reporter? Shouldn't you be trying to inform people? I could use your help. Maybe I could make it worth your while to help. Ito na lang. Kailangan nating i-expose si Josephine Tsang. Hindi na lang kasi nilang ginawa ng matinong epilogue ba't kailangan ganito pa eh. He winks at you. I think it's more worth my while to keep my job. I start babbling about government or corporate cover-ups on camera and I'm finished here. And I know plenty of guys who got the strength of the righteous and then mysteriously disappeared. He picks up his gear and turns to go. Everyone on this island knows that my news service is just a mouthpiece for the executive council. Hell, if you look close enough, you'll probably find that it's owned by a member of the executive council. People buy that we feed them. People buy what we feed them because the world is changing and it's scary. They feel small. They need scapegoats to blame and authority figures to tell them what to think. My news network gives them that. He points at the tried screen mounted on the side of the newsstand, and there's a prime example of an authority figure, Jo Tsang, rising star on the executive council. Just look at her spinning this to her own ends, talking about the humanitarian relief effort she's mounting. You know, your calm chirps. It's kindly Chang. Go ahead and take your calm. I'm gonna go before this scene turns into some kind of riot. It usually does. Hello, Auntie. This is Tang. You're not gonna believe what I just went through. Hello, Auntie. Don't hello, Auntie me. I lost contact with the soldiers I sent into the world city with you, and now these Sang assholes and government troops are all over the place. Get over here. Tell me what the hell happened. Right away, Auntie. I'll come by when I'm ready. What about the cops? There's still an APB out on us. Alright, ito na lang. Right away, auntie. Response. The line is already dead. Usual tugs at your arm. Her eyelids at half mast. I want to sleep for about a year. I'm heading to the Kraken, Azlev Enhar. I could use some sack time too. I see you there. You better go talk to Auntie Seattle. So, tapusin na natin to. Ito na lang eh. Yun na lang eh. Wala nang gagawin eh. Tapos na yan eh. Grabe, 2 hours 30 minutes. The, com- the commotion from the streets of Heyo leads into Kindly Chang's mahjong parlor. Triad soldiers bustle to keep up with their boss's orders. Couriers come in regularly, whispering to her lieutenant before listening intently and running again. Okay, tapusin na natin to. Saan siya? Ito. As you enter, Kindly Cheng is giving instructions to Strangler Bao, who nods enthusiastically. She looks over at you and holds up her hand. Wait, and send Wang and Ho to snatch some of those medical supplies off the relief trucks. With all the excitement, nobody's watching them at all. She nods to herself, grimacing in satisfaction. There'll be a big black market for them over the next few weeks. Good thinking, Mrs. Chang. Bao lifts a finger to his ear to transmit the orders. When he sees you waiting, he inclines his head a quarter of an inch. Tank, I figured you were dead. Last I heard, my soldiers had found you and everyone was heading into the walled city. Then things got out of control. She takes a pull on her thin black cigar. Where are my people? What the hell happened? They're dead. You're really stealing medical supplies, Auntie? Not sure. We got separated in the walled city. We got separated in the walled city. Found out later they were killed. Her eyes are hard little black buttons. Is that how you treat my resources? Please accept my apologies, Mrs. Chang. They died for a good cause. Looks like business is up these days. You'll make up the loss. Soldiers die. That's what they're for. Ito na lang. Please accept my apologies, Mrs. Chang. She takes another drag off of her cigarette. Exhales the smoke through her nose. So you do have something to apologize for. That's not what I meant. I didn't get your men killed, Auntie. I just I was just trying to be respectful of your loss. Okay. I didn't get your men killed, Auntie. She taps her to ash on the floor. Well, they knew the risks. They had a shot at moving up and they missed. Forget them. I've got bigger problems, like customers and tenants streaming out of the walled city, screaming for their lives, like the Hong Kong police force and those strong security shit heels swarming the place. She drops the stub of her cigar in an ashtray. Now tell me, what happened in the walled city? Or do I have to get an acetylene, acetylene torch and ask nicely? It was a family matter. It's taken care of. A new tenant tried to move in. The big bad terrifying kind from another dimension. Raymond Black accidentally summoned a demon god. We had to put her down. Ito talaga eh. Kindly Cheng's eyes get big at that. What kind? Ayama King. Kanya, the queen with 1,000 teeth. The soul-sucking, nightmare-inducing, talking inside your head kind of demon god. Ito na lang. Sabihin natin yung totoo sa kanya kasi yun naman taga eh. Never heard of her. She picks up her bottle of foul spirits and studies the label. Her rusty mean voice drops low. But I know the Yama Kings. My grandmother used to try to scare me with stories about them. I guess that she thought she was teaching me something by scaring the shit out of me. She chuckles softly. I remember one Yama specifically, Fu Mang, the serpent of the setting sun. Oh yes, Fu Mang promises wealth and influence for those willing to do what was necessary to take it. Her voice turns wistful. The story of Fu Mang spoke to me. All she asked for in return were 44 hearts, pulled from the chests of those closest to you, who they while they were still alive. Hearts from random victims wouldn't do. So those who took Fu Mang's bargain would would befriend others before taking their hearts, turning their entire network into a list of victims. Yes, Fu Mang spoke to me, but I didn't listen. Strangler Bao leans in, his finger to his ear. My apologies, Mrs. Chang, but one of the men you sent with the runners into the world sea is still alive. He stumbled into Wong and Ho as they were pulling medical supplies off a lorry. Cheng turns to you with an edge in her voice. At least one came back alive. Strangler Bao lowers his head, listens to his earpiece again. Our man says that Wong Lung Fat is dead. He got shot up by the Hong Kong police force inside the World City. Bao lifts his head and makes eye contact with the triad boss. He's almost salivating with avarice. Our man saw it with his own eyes, Mrs. Cheng. Is that good news? That sounds good, does it? Does it make up for your dead soldiers, Auntie? With his own eyes? Is that important? Ito na lang. It wipes the slate clean, my darling. Oh yes. You see, Wang Lun Fat was my superior in the Yellow Lotus, A4, A438. Kindly Cheng's black button eyes sparkle with satisfaction born of malice. He was also a pig. Tell our friend Tank what that means, Mr. Bao. A wolfish smile spreads across her face, and her eyes squeeze into crescent moons of pleasure. And say it slowly so I can savor it. The death of Wang Lun Fat has opened a spot for you to move up, madam. You could be the next 438. Bao smiles. The effect is chilling. The gods help those who seize opportunities. Mr. Bao put every man we have on this. Spread the word. Kindly Cheng says all debts to the Yellow Lotus are suspended for citizens of the World City until order is restored. And no interest will compound either. Tell them that I have medical supplies too, and there will be no charge for them until the crisis is over. Okay, ah. And after the crisis is over, things seem to be going your way, Auntie. You're a pillar of the community. Ito na lang. Don't be snide, Tank. You don't want to blow my good mood. She raises her voice so the triads in the room can hear her. The citizens of the walled city need clarity and reassurance. The Yellow Lotus will provide that for them. Haba talaga, grabe. I may not have brought Josephine Sang down, but I've got my career again going again. She grabs her bottle and unscrews the cap with her thumb. Your career too, Mr. Bao. You'll be my new straw sandal. Good partners support one another. Bao lowers his head in respect. You have proven that, Mrs. Chang. This calls for a drink. The soon-to-be 438 pours two shots, and the stink of kerosene stabs your nose like a switchblade. She hands a glass to Bao, touches it with her own, and holds it there. Your loyalty and clear-headedness have proven immensely valuable, Mr. Bao. You are an effective ally, and I wish you great wealth and good fortune. They down the foul substance in one gulp. Congratulations, kids. You both had it coming to you. What about my drink? I'm the one who beat a demon. Looks like you two are moving up in the world. Ito na lang. Yes, yes, and it appears your fortune is changing too, Tank. She pours herself another drink and leaves it sitting on the table. Remember, you have a mysterious benefactor, one who lifted the APB on you. Any ideas who that might be? I like mysterious benefactors. At least somebody likes me. Ito na lang. I'm sure you do, especially when they prevent police snipers from inserting a tunnel into your skull. It must be somebody powerful. I can imagine it was Josephine Tsang, after all. What would her motivation be? It's got to be someone else. Yeah, well, it's not like I've made a lot of friends since we hit town. One of Josephine's enemies on the executive council? O, so ito na lang. I'll tap my network, find out if I can. Kindly pulls out another thin black cigar. But that's for later. I'm missing an entire piece of your story, my darling. What happened at Prosperity Tower? Did you resource Raymond Black? Did you rescue Raymond Black? Did his mother wipe his memory? We got him, stopped his mother from wiping his memory. It was a hell of a fight, but we beat Sang, security. Let Raymond before she could finish. We got to him in time. That's what we needed from him. Ito na lang. Impressive. You have become quite a shadow runner, Tank. She lights the cigar, a gleam of hunger in her shiny black eyes. While you were in Prosperity Tower, did you find any incriminating data on Josephine Sang? There, something I could use. Toss her the data. We found financial statements that'll get her in deep with the executive council. Enjoy. Toss her the data. Something we can use. Financial shenanigans that'll hurt Joe Sang with the executive council. Yep, financial statements. The executive council would love to see. As I recall, you were gonna back up the Nguyen truck for this. Ito na lang. Binigyan pa tayo ng 5K. Okay, ah. Kindly barks a laugh, and the cigar dances in her mouth as she speaks. Now I can take that dried up old bitch to the mat. The triad boss pulls out a cred stick and tosses it to you. The number on the data readout is big, more than twice the payout of a single Shadowrun. With these, Josephine Sang's days on the executive council are numbered. Bow, it appears that my fortunes have truly changed. She pours two more shots from her reeking bottle. Our partnership has become quite enriching, Tank. She raises her glass. To my new number one Shadowrunner. May our partnership continue to bear fruit. Drink. Let's hope it's big, fat fruit. Drink. To the beginning of something big. Pass on the drink. Sorry, I make it a habit not to drink anything someone offers me, even crime lords. Pass on the drink. Partnerships, huh? Uh, to the beginning of something big na lang. Ito na lang. Kindly Chang watches you drink, smiling her serpentine smile. Then she downs her glass in one swallow and licks the rim. Now, before I get back to business, I must know, how did you go from rescuing Raymond Black to the World City vomiting people? Ray built a machine in the World City. It accidentally summoned the big bad thing. That's when everybody ran. Ray made a magical fortune machine, but it suffered from a demon summoning glitch. Ito na lang. The triad boss cocks her head, raises her cigar to her lips. If the demon summoning was accidental, what was his machine supposed to do in the first place? I don't know. It created fortune. Sabihin natin, wag tayo magsinungaling, mahirap na eh. It created fortune. Your foster father created a magical fortune machine? The triad boss cocks her head, raises her cigar to her lips. Please tell me you have control of this device. Please tell me you brought it to me. Nope, sorry. That's a pity. I'm sure there are plenty of people who could benefit from it. Well, this business has certainly proved lucrative for me. Kindly Chang studies the glowing tip of her black cigar. I'm in a prime position to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. I only lost 4 men, and I finally got something I can use against Josephine Tsang. Yeah, well, Raymond didn't make it. He sacrificed himself to stop the demon. We can't all be so lucky. Raymond wasn't. Say nothing. Ito na lang. Lucky is when preparation meets opportunity. She lowers her eyes, her voice softening. It doesn't sound like your foster father was in a position to be lucky, but judging by the way you've run the shadows, I'd say your luck is about to change. Grabe, 3 hours na itong haba ah. You made quite a splash since arriving in Hong Kong, Stan. Many Shadowrunners completed many Shadowruns completed in a very short time. The reports from our clients are glowing mostly. Don't forget what we did in the Walled City. That could have gotten nasty if it weren't for us. You can add closing the door on a demon goddess to the list. We made a difference. Ano lang. It could have been worse, I suppose. For some, for a while. The triad boss leans in and her voice becomes conspiratorial. Listen to me, my sweet. When I was a girl, there had never been a pandemic like Fightas. But in 2010, it happened. We'd never seen deaths like that. A quarter of the world's population disappeared. It was miserable. It pushed us to our limits. But the survivors moved on. And then the spike babies started appearing. And the dwarf babies. And then suddenly, there were dragons, and goblinization, and magic. And every time the world changed, we got used to it. So if a demon goddess decided that the world city was her new living room, and you didn't, whatever you did, what would have happened? She shrugs, sniffs. Perhaps the news would cover it until the next sensation will until the next sensation pull their attention away. But after a while, it would be drowned out by all the other crap competing for our attention. Ayaw pa matapos. And the demon in the world city would become the new normal. Well, the new normal is that the world city isn't under magical influence anymore. Well, I was there and I stopped her. Ito na lang. Congratulations, the poor can return to their misery with no interference from magical machines or big bad things because of you. Now, let me give you a piece of advice for the future, my sweet. Something Mr. Cheng used to tell me. Respect ghosts and gods, but keep away from them. It sounds like you almost lost your ass in the world city. I think you'd best listen to that. So there is a Mr. Cheng. No more demons from now on, Auntie. I'll keep it in mind. So, sige, tanong natin. Total, ang haba na eh. Kindly smiles mischievously. There have been many Mr. Changs, my darling. None have lasted long. She stubs out her cigar, screws the top back on her bottle. Now get some sleep, Tank. You look like shit. Tomorrow we'll talk about the future. Maybe next time you can just say, I look like I could use some sleep. Bed sounds good. Last time you told me to get to bed, I woke up a shadow runner. What happens when I woke up tomorrow? Ano lang. Kindly Cheng doesn't respond. She's already moved on. Bao, what's the status on those medical supplies? Hindi pa rin tapos? Okay, go to bed. Dali lang, tapusin na natin ito na eh. Sana naman tapos na, please lang. Sobrang haba na. The scene on the Kraken is quiet, save for the sounds of eating. The crew is crowded around Gabet's electric hot plate. Her cast iron pot simmers on top and they hold bowls of soup in their hands. You recognize the smell. Chicken style soya broth, elbow macaroni, tinned ham, and a heaping scoop of egg flavored mycoprotein. The mood is somber. I thought I said no team meetings without me. You're eating? I thought you were all going to bed. Ito na lang. We figured we'd hang out a while. No one could remember the last time we ate. She looks over her bowl at Duncan. Besides, no one could sleep anyway. Ano ba to? Tapusin nyo na! Natalo na natin eh. She means me. I'm too fucked up to sleep, trying not to think about Raymond, who takes an enormous gulp of soup, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. They're just keeping me company, feeding me and pretending not to be tired. Talking a bit. Yeah, I'm still jacked up. Bed can wait. What are we talking about? Sure you're not afraid of going to sleep and having another nightmare? Ito na lang. Isabel fishes a chunk of something out of her soup with her fingers, flicks it to the floor. We've been debriefing a bit. Yeah, talking about all that's gone on. Everything we've been through together. She shuffles her feet a bit. Sorry about Raymond, Seattle. You too, Duncan. He was trying to do good with that machine. You two need to remember that. Wu drops his head. His words come out slowly, as if they were being forcibly extracted. I can't believe he did that. Gave himself to that demon. I think he did what he came to do. It was justice. He caused a lot of harm. I wish he was here with us now. Ano lang. He did what he had to do. He sips from his bowl, thoughtfully. I guess we all did. Isabel stares over her bowl, at the wall at the wall of the trawler. Her voice is soft. Hard to believe we defeated a god. Demon god. Gabat stirs her soup with her finger. From another plane of existence. Hard to believe that Josephine Sang is going to remain untarnished by this whole thing. The little Decker's face hardens. 20 years of misery. 20 years of suffering. For tens of thousands, hundreds maybe. That's the way it is. The way the world works. The powerful play their games, and the little people pay the price. She'll see justice someday. She has to. Wu stares into his soup, squinting in concentration. But one thing doesn't add up for me. Why was Josephine Sang so intent on shutting us down? Why wouldn't she be? You saw what she was responsible for? No, think about it. The Hong Kong police force snipers, the plastic-faced man, all of the resources that she poured into capturing Raymond and hunting us down. I mean, she's already covered her tracks with that illegal drug lab explosion, right? So why not just let Ray do his thing, then cover it up afterward? It doesn't add up. She couldn't let anyone see prosperity. It had to be the fortune engine itself. I don't care, it's over. We're done cleaning up Raymond's mess. Sige, baka ito nga. Yeah, I think you're right. From everything Raymond said, the key was supposed to be was supposed to be turning toxic, but I felt something in that room. A flow of positive key that I didn't expect. Gabat wrinkles her nose. She stares at the floor of the trawler for several seconds, apparently lost in thought. I think that it was leaving the walled city. I bet that machine did something else. Something that Raymond didn't know about. The little Decker stirs her soup, pondering. What if it was siphon? What if Josephine Sang was stealing the cast of positive key from the walled city, teaching it to her own benefit? Malamang. Malamang, ganun nga yun. Wu nods at Isabel, runs with her train of thought. She sealed up the fortune engine, leached the good key for herself, and took Chang Mechanical Services from the minor company Ray's father built to the blockbuster it is today. His jaw tightens. That's how she got herself on the Executive Council of Hong Kong. Of course, this is all speculation. Can't prove any of it. But if Josephine was using positive key that the fortune engine was casting off, she isn't getting it anymore. Your foster father saw to that. Gaba taps her spoon against the rim of her bowl. I wonder what will happen to her. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Please lang, tama na yung dialogue para makita na natin yung ending. Gawat finishes her soup, lets out a little belch, and pats her stomach. Satisfied, she tosses the bowl in the corner for madness and folly. So Seattle, what now? Now, bed. Maybe what you tried. Anything on? I'm gonna walk around a bit, stretch my legs. Ito na lang, bed. Good plan for everybody, but especially you, Azalev Anhar. Who winks at you? You look like shit. So I've heard. Why does everybody tell me that? Get used to it. Okay. Wag na, wag na natin gawin to. Tapusin na natin. Your bank on the trawler lies waiting, patient and seductive. It beckons with the promise of escape. Attend to unfinished businesses. Wala na. Go to sleep and end the campaign. You drop your head onto the pillow and hold the rough naval blanket over you. The kraken rocks like a cradle, and moments later, you are wrapped in the comforting arms of sleep. There are no nightmares. So tapos na talaga. Only shadows. The story of the walled city riots circulates local news networks for nearly a week. Few outside of Hong Kong hear about the incident, and of those that do, even fewer care. By the end of the month, the city is back to business as usual. In Haeyoy, the flow of refugees eventually slows to a trickle. Those who do escape tell stories of a terrifying demon goddess, and of an old man who sacrificed his soul to banish her. Their mad ramblings are generally met with pity or contempt. After the incident in the World City, the unbroken lucky streak that propelled Sang Mechanical Services into the limelight comes to an abrupt end. Evidence of Josephine Sang's culpability in the World City riots, as delivered by a reliable source, is aired on the Horizon News Network, and the corporation's stock prices go into a free fall. Within a year, Waxing Inc. buys out, absorbs and dismantles the company, and Josephine Sang is quietly filed away in a corporate prison. She remains there, buried behind walls of concrete and rebar, until she hangs herself 3 months later. Okay, nag-suicide din. Hay remains a safe port of call for smugglers, gangsters, and shadowrunners alike. You are no exception. The shadows here welcome you, in a way that Seattle never did. You've earned the respect of your fixer, your clients, and your community. And now that the APB on you and your team has been lifted by parties unknown, you are free to operate openly in Hong Kong. This place is yours now, your home. Okay, tapos na. Medyo mahaba-haba, grabe, tatlong oras ng episode, guys. Pero at least tapos na. Skip na natin tong credits. Grabe. At least guys, tapos na. So, Quezon Plaza signing off guys. Next game na lang ulit.